And welcome to another episode of More Than Dice. I'm John.
No, you're not.
Damn it. I don't want to be
I'm
Gonzo
John.
today. Okay, I'll be Kathy.
Also not. I have to be John because I'm wearing his underwear.
That's
You
fair.
think that?
That's fair. I'm not going to argue that.
So, welcome to episode 122.
122.
Dang, I'm on it today. Today's episode, we are going to talk about how to kind of stay motivated, how to get together, how to do things, try to get things done, projects that you've been meaning to work on, but you haven't, like Gonzo painting his bust, and other hobby-related stuff, or, what you could do, because my game store had a interesting thing that happened this week, and I thought they made kind of a big deal about it, and you would never make a big deal about it until now, but other than that, we are going to say thank you to all of our sponsors and everybody else that are helping us out during this time. We want to thank Muse on Minis for hosting our podcast and letting everybody say hi and getting it out to everybody all the time. Hold on. Something's not right.
Something's not right.
My painting was kind of messed up. We also want to thank Metalhead Minis. Thank our good friend Lynn. She has some stuff that she'll be putting up for us pretty soon. We want to thank Creature Caster for, of course, sponsoring the podcast and providing with all the cool stuff that goes on. Kathy said you'll be working on the scissoring this week, possibly?
I am not working on the scissoring during my stream anymore. I'm at a point with it where I want to get in there and do some really fine work where I can't wear my glasses, which
Gotcha.
means that if you want to see me holding a model 2 inches from my face and not in front of the camera, and see me leaning next to my palette 3 inches away from my palette while I mix paints because I can't see it, and also I can't see the chat, then yeah, I could do that.
Gotcha.
Does that sound like riveting TV?
No, it doesn't.
No, not really. So instead, I found this guy that I did the metallics on. It's a Nurgle dude. It's the Nurgle dude with all the bells and incense sensors. I'd hold it up, but you probably can't really see this is the dude with the bell. Anyways, so I'm gonna work on that guy and my warp gate. One of my warp gates. Well, I'll probably get the other warp gate. I need to file off the little bumps where the supports were on it. So then I'll have those to work on as well. And they're going to be glowy. So I can't decide, do I do them both pinky purple? Or do I do one yellowy green and one pinky purple? These are the hard questions.
Those are hard questions. I don't know the answer.
So I'm thinking I do both because then that way people can see an example of two different kinds of glowing things. So
Okay.
not about it's about what you know.
And then we also want to thank Tectonic Crest Studios for being awesome. Dan has actually, from what I understand, moved some of his office, so he should be back doing stuff on the normal now. So people should be geared up and ready for that. So hopefully he'll have some new stuff for everybody. So
You guys, it is pouring so hard outside right now,
you can't even hear it.
and it was last night. Oh, through my headset I can hear it.
No, we can't hear it.
It's just insane. Jim's in the basement because we get seepage when it rains hard, and he's been there all day just making sure that the basement isn't, getting too much water in it. So that's always fun.
Indeed. Fun.
So,
Quotation.
let's get our drink on. Kathy, you gonna shock us today?
I'm always going to shock you.
What are you
I'm
drinking?
drinking a gin and tonic.
Whoa.
The G&T.
Okay.
And also I have some tea already.
John, what you got to drink today?
I have a screwdriver.
No. What are you gonna drink today?
A screwdriver.
That you didn't. Okay. Never mind. If that's what you want to do.
Yep.
What he really means is, that was
Gonzo.
hilarious.
Gonzo being a dork. So mine today is I'm drinking something from Mother's Brewing Company. I have a few bottles left of this, so I figured I would drink it. And it is an Oktoberfest Marzen Ale. I don't know how you pronounce that, but we'll just go with it. It's only about 5.5% alcohol. It's not bad. It's kind of a semi-local brewery. It's about 3-4 hours away type thing. So, I mean, I consider that kind of local. In Missouri. So, gonna finish off a few of those since I only have a couple left. Other than that, that's about it. Do we got any tributes or anything that we need to talk about?
A bunch of people died.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't write them all down.
neither did I. But
Little Richard in particular was one that stuck out.
Oh yeah, last week actually.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not being funny. I mean, like, there was a bunch of people famous people, but Little Richard specifically.
Fred Willard, I heard recently passed away.
Yes.
Yes.
Me too. He was funny.
Yeah, he was. I noticed that was something that was recently that came up in my feed, that he passed away recently.
There's up tributes on Twitter to him.
Yeah. To everybody listening, everybody watching, everybody that helps us out, keeps us going, lets us do stuff. Watches Kathy's stream. We appreciate it more than you know. It helps us move through the day. It helps us get things done. We appreciate you coming in and hanging out with us live on air. So, cheers to everybody. Be safe.
Cheers.
Cheers.
It's not bad. Let me switch this over to painting cam, because y'all are going to beat me up and everything. And yell at me.
I didn't realize that was what the topic was. Yell at Gonzo.
It's always a topic every week.
He was very specific that yell at Gonzo was what we were supposed to do.
So, I put the gray stuff on the model, and now it's hard. So what do I do now?
Take a file.
Wait a minute. I could. You told me not.
Spot.
You told me not to use a file last week. Now it's a file this week.
Yes, because it was what?
Because that's what we say. Goddammit.
But there is rough spots all over this. I mean, there's like.
Did you know that the side of the file works better than the tip when you're filing things, right?
Well, I was trying to get, because there's like this little muscle indent right here, and so I was trying to carve like a little indent into it.
Get that afterwards, because you can get that with a knife.
A knife? Okay.
Oh yeah, hobby knife to the rescue for that stuff. I mean, really, you could, if you're gonna do what you're doing right now, just grab the hobby knife and just scrape the stuff instead of filing it.
Okay. So, I mean, I'm able to do some scraping is what you're telling me.
Yeah, but just be careful, because the other part that it's attached to is resin, and that's not healthy to be filing, so you be careful.
So don't gouge the resin.
We're trying not to file the resin at all, actually. Or if you're going to, get your mask on.
I
we
shouldn't
don't mean
sniff
like
the
the
resin.
mask you're wearing out in public. We mean actual particulate mask.
Well, I have a particulate mask. So I shouldn't be sniffing resin, is what you're telling me.
Correct.
Probably not.
Okay, cool.
I think you should probably not be. Yeah, that's. I mean, better safe than sorry, you know.
So should I just file this down until it's smooth?
File it down until it disconnects from the shoulder.
So just
Well,
pop
now
the
check
shoulder
and see
off.
if you paid attention.
Pop that shoulder right off, and we'll just get with it, huh?
No, definitely just file it down to just like you're cleaning any other model. I mean, it's that point.
Okay.
I will be Bizarro John tonight. I'll be Bizarro Javier.
Bizarre.
I will be providing all of the opposite hobby advice.
Opposite hobby advice. Oh boy.
Just throw it in the dirt. Rub it around in the dirt, Gonzo. That'll work.
Just spit on it. It'll be fine.
Well, actually, if you're a Rhett and Link fan, rub some bacon on it.
You know, we're talking about bacon. I watched a video today, going a little off topic here, of a lady that made carrot bacon. And I was like, okay, I'm going to watch this video because I'm kind of curious now.
Does it have grease in it?
Well, yes and no. So, the lady
That's not a yes or no kind of a question.
Yeah, it's
Well, okay, let me tell my story first, and then we'll go from there. So this lady, I don't know why she was making carrot bacon. I missed that part of the first of the video, so I wasn't paying too much of attention. But she took a carrot and sliced it, and sliced it into bacon strips, if you want to call it. Created a rub and spices and all of that for the bacon, smoke and
The carrot.
or the carrot
Slices.
the carrot slices, aka her bacon. And had all that stuff done, and then she put it in oil. I didn't recognize what type of oil it was.
Okay.
But put it in oil and kind of fried it up like bacon. So I was like, okay. And so she made carrot bacon. She said it had a crisp just like bacon. And she says it tasted like bacon because she used, the maple, brown sugar and, stuff like that. So she said she, didn't like that.
I just believe that carrot tastes like bacon.
Well, the stuff that the stuff that she used was to make the carrot taste like bacon, which I thought was interesting.
So liquid smoke.
Yeah,
Basically, and salt.
And she did like maple syrup or brown sugar.
I agree with Captain Mizzy. Nope. Arrest this lady, put her in prison, burn her at the stake. It is blasphemy. I agree 100% with that.
Bacon is bacon.
So, here's the thing.
I'm pretty sure it is
vegetarian?
unlawful to call a vegetable bacon, no matter how you season it.
Yeah. So if you want bacon and you're a vegetarian, you have two choices. You can not have bacon because you're vegetarian, or you can realize you don't actually want to be vegetarian that much, and you should just fucking eat bacon.
Yes. Oh God! So Russ goes, "Why is someone scraping Guyver's butt crack?"
The Guyver's got a little bit of crusty butt, so I'm cleaning up Guyver's butt crack.
So, Legionnaire says, look up eggplant bacon on YouTube. Now, eggplant's a weird one. That's probably interesting because...
Oh, it probably tastes good, but it's still not bacon.
It is still not bacon. You're correct.
It is still not bacon.
Oh, and Mizzy shared a picture of her breakfast, which I saw on Facebook already and was very jealous, and now I'm really hungry again. We stop talking about food.
You know what?
We can talk about
Peanut
food. I'm out.
butter
I gotta go
cookies.
Yeah.
Mania does not shut up yet with cookies, and I find this lack of cookies disturbing.
Quick, Binyan, run and grab him a banana split.
God. I would quite probably shank a motherfucker for a banana split right now. I ain't lying.
But I thought it was interesting that she did use carrots for bacon because she put it in a sandwich and stuff. And I was like, to me, there's really no substitute for bacon. It's bacon or nothing else.
Right. But the idea of sliced carrots baked with oil and seasonings
Was an
is
interesting thing.
appealing, and on a sandwich.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting.
So you wanted crispy smoked carrots on your sandwich? Okay.
Yeah.
Liquid smoke makes most things, taste bacon-y.
Yeah.
Or hammy.
Remember, if your bacon isn't smoked, then it's just hot ham.
It's just hot ham.
Not even ham. It's side pork. It's just side pork.
Just a side pork.
Also, because ham is smoked and it's the leg, whereas bacon comes from the front, the belly.
The belly.
And now we're getting very particular about our...
I will always get particular
cuts of
about
pig.
meat. You get me and Jackie on a stream again. We'll be very particular about our cuts of meat.
We haven't had Jackie on. We need to get that girl on here sometime.
Yes.
We need to have an all meat episode.
I'm down for that.
She's an essential worker. We can convince her.
It'd be the barbecue episode.
There you go.
Oh yeah.
We need to stop talking about Mike seriously. It's not good.
So, welcome to More Than Meat. And we're going to be talking about how to cook the proper meat and put everything together correctly. But I just thought it was interesting. I saw it today and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Not a substitute for real bacon, but okay.
Russ says the Guyver needs to see a doctor because the butt and now the crotch. He's got some issues.
He's got a bulge right here, though.
I think his underwear has been chafing. We're back to the underwear.
Back to the underwear.
So I'm going to let you know that if it's like that, that's beyond chafing. Just letting you know. As the foremost expert on John's underwear, that's beyond chafing. Yeah, I should have been to the doctor a long time ago for that shit. I'm just... What's the topic again?
It's really more like a G-string.
I can't unsee that now. Thanks, Kathy.
Look, the new Guyver G-String. Don't you want one too? I need to get my glasses
Does
on.
everybody feel inspired to hobby now?
You too can create a Guyver G-String. Just have Gonzo print out the Guyver model for you, and you can do it too.
Well, you'd have to have Gonzo put it together for you, though, because only Gonzo's touch would,
fuck up
make
a
it
fuck
like
up a model.
I mean, once it's primed,
It'll still show up.
It'll be his underwear.
It'll be his underwear.
Under
Right.
the cape. Well,
Well, it can't be. It can't be his underwear. He's an anime character. They only wear underwear on their head because they're crazy like that.
Which I'll be talking about an anime this week, and a good one, by the way.
Russ says he does end up only in his underwear or naked under the Guyver unit the first time he morphed in the anime.
True.
Yeah.
So that's some specific knowledge that I don't have because I haven't seen the anime.
Which should have watched that the movie again because we talked about that, and I did not do that this week, John.
No, probably shouldn't.
So.
Gonzo, do you know what year that movie came out?
No, I don't. What year did the Guyver movie come out in?
Isn't it the early 80s?
No, 1991.
Kidding.
Yeah, it was in the 90s.
I really thought that was the
The
80s.
visuals are just like they're from the 80s.
Ah, okay.
Oh, come on. It even has Jimmy Walker in it, remember? Dynamite! Because
That clearly is where they got the idea for Jar Jar Binks.
yeah, oh my god. Yeah, you're probably right. It just makes me want to shoot myself.
I know, the whole time I was watching that movie, I was waiting for that character to say dynamite.
Ay, vey.
Now when you watch it again, since you're going through all the Star Wars, You'll think of that.
No, I won't. There's not much
Yes.
Jar Jar left in Star Wars live action Star Wars. I'm past him.
Oh, you're past him.
Wait, you're past him already?
Oh yeah.
I didn't realize you already saw that.
Oh yeah. I'm past season 1 of the Clone Wars, so I'll have some animated Jar Jar, then a little bit of Jar Jar in Revenge of the Sith, and then no more Jar Jar. Thank God.
Hmm.
I'll be honest. The episodes I've seen so far with Jar Jar and Clone Wars are not good.
No.
And that's being nice.
Shocked.
Uh,
Yeah.
So, should we have
it's
a topic?
pretty much the worst part of the Star Wars universe.
You may be. You may be. In any case, don't we have a topic? How to stay motivated?
This is us being motivated. We're motivating people, right? Is everybody motivated now?
Just do some Guyver ass. That's
Okay,
how
Do
we-
some Guyver ass. Yes. Hey, Danny. So, welcome to our Sunday night podcast. This is More Than Dice, the podcast. And tonight's topic is
Guyver's ass, apparently.
staying motivated to hobby while we're all trapped at home.
Yeah, we've talked about everything but.
Everything
No,
but.
everything and the butt.
We
now
just
it's time
talk
to
about
move
carrot
on.
bacon and eggplant bacon a little bit, and Guyver G-String, and Guyver going to the doctor, and yeah, I forget where we left off. Oh, and
I
food,
feel
lots
like
of food. 'Cause-
The chat is driving this discussion tonight, and I'm all for that. So, Russ says I'd prefer Jar Jar over the shambles that is the new trilogy.
Oh, agree to disagree, Russ. Agree to disagree.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Jar Jar was, in my opinion, what the worst part of Star Wars.
Oh, just took the airbrush out of an Amazon box with a spider in it.
There was
Well,
a
now you gotta
spider
burn
in it.
everything down.
Burn it down, throw it on the fire.
Yep, it was a good run, House. Now time to burn you down, spider. If that's the case, there's a game. I think it's just like a demo version now called Kill It with Fire. I think it's called, and it's basically the spider in your house simulator.
Yeah, see, I don't have a problem with that. I either live and let live, depending on the spider, or I capture it and take it outside.
Well, that is not an option in this game. Apparently, in this game, you walk around and you like move stuff, and spiders jump out at you and run off, and you have to kill them all.
Oh, that's sad. I like spiders.
There's a point where he's in the demo and he gets a gun and he is shooting spiders. And I mean literally. They have drop a book on. They get the hairspray and a lighter, and you set shit on fire. It was interesting. I saw a guy playing it on YouTube. It was one of the normal channels I follow.
Sounds like Resident Evil.
A little bit.
It was tiny and ran to the carpet. It's on its own now. Somewhere in the house. In the
Well,
tall
it's gonna-
grass that is the carpet.
I don't care about spiders as long as they stay out of line of sight, because they're going to kill their bugs. It'll be okay.
Danny says, hi, upside down person.
That's Gonzo.
That's
He's weird.
Gonzo.
That's Gonzo.
Who was that? I can't see.
Danny, 6602.
Hey, Danny. So,
All right,
how do
so
you stay motivated in
sorry,
this?
I don't know if I'm the right one to talk about this because I'm still motivated, but I have a very big structure, and maybe that's the big thing is have sort of a structure. You know, I have the hobby streak I do daily, and that keeps me motivated to keep going and going and going.
So you're really the perfect person to talk about it.
Not really, because my answer is just
Do it.
make a structure. Like
just keep
if it's
fucking
just
doing
like
it.
I'm going to paint Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, then paint Monday, Wednesday, and Friday every time. Just do it. Just keep doing it.
Crimson. How to stay motivated by 3 people who don't have enough motivation to stay on the topic. Yeah, but that's not hobby motivation. Look, Gonzo is actually hobbying right now. I have
Yes.
my scissoring of desire that I was working on yesterday. Today I made cookies, so but yeah. I've
It,
got I've got stuff prepped for my stream this week. I'll be painting Nurgly Goodness, and I'll be painting glowing warp gates, and get a bunch of stuff going on here. But staying on topic is beside the point.
We don't do that very
indeed.
often.
And it's funny because just for the same reason that John is staying motivated, I am too. It's the routine of 4 days a week, I am streaming my painting. So I can't just be like, don't feel like it, not going to show up. And then on the weekends, I'll still paint even when I'm not streaming. If I'm not doing anything else, and let's face it, I'm really not doing anything else. I'm not going out to, see people, do things. I haven't
Spoiler,
been
most people aren't
playing
going to see people and do things.
Yeah, I haven't been playing video games in forever, and I think that's helped a lot. It's helped me a lot. Like, I haven't played video games at all. Although I was tempted to re-download Civ 5 on my machine this morning. I resisted the urge though.
Well, much like the other things, you sort of have to structure that as well. Um, you could go like, I'm going to play, from this time to this time I can play or whatever, and just make
Oh,
sure you
I
structure it.
can't. I can't. If I start playing like 10 hours later, I'll be like, what the hell? It's dark out. I haven't even eaten.
Yeah, that's usually how I play, especially
So,
MMOs.
and I know some people are that way, and some people, can just be like, yeah, okay, I've played for a couple hours, I'm done. But I'm not that person, and I know that about myself. So, when my computer died and I got it fixed, I did not re-download. The only thing I downloaded again was Diablo, but I've played it like 3 times since then. So I've played that one enough where I'm like, whatever. Also,
Fair enough.
I've been learning Dutch, and so that's what I spend an hour every morning doing is uh, learning Dutch.
I've noticed that because you've been posting Dutch things in your posts.
Well, if those people are saying that they're not really having a good time with making a structure, there's some people are trying. If you can't make a structure of painting on certain schedule, um, instead just make a goal like I need to finish X by Y date, and then just work on it. Sure, it might mean when Y date's getting really close, you're really, really going to have to bust your butt to get it done, but that's sort of the thing.
Sort of
Yeah,
like my bust that I need to paint.
yeah, you need to paint it by the end of the month. You should probably start.
Uh-huh.
But oh, Russ says time to take a break from gaming if your ass goes numb, even if it's just a stretch and grab a drink. Absolutely.
I
It's
have
actually
never had
also
that problem.
it's also a good idea to take a break from whatever you're doing if any part of your body starts getting sore. Thumb, fingers, whatever. There could be more there. Take a break. Come back to it. It'll be there. You'll be okay. Um, but yeah, so if you can't motivate yourself to get a set schedule for whatever you want to do, try and make a goal. That'll help a lot. Did you break one of his spike soft guns or not glue it yet?
Uh, it just was barely glued on there. I just put it on there and tacked it real quick just to see if it was going to fit, and I didn't. It just has to be re-glued back on. It's perfectly fine. Just need
Okay,
to
cool.
score the bottom of it again and redo it, or just
Cool.
score the
Just
bottom.
checking.
Yeah,
So
no.
what's your routine then, John?
My routine is, I mean, it's hobby streak, which is just model or hobby of some variety, and that's become pretty vague. Whether it's play role playing game, play card games with the and I mean actual like collectible or living card game types of things, or trading card games um, with the roomie or somebody, or just paint, model, whatever for at least a half an hour every day. And sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's a challenge. Sometimes you're playing MechWarrior online till like 11:15 p.m. You're like, I really need to get something done for today. And you have to get it done. Sometimes you're on a work trip to another state and you have to find something to keep you going while you're there. What do you mean?
But for you, it's like at least a half an hour every day.
At least a half an hour. Yeah, absolutely. And you can remember we have the hobby streak to keep us going, and it's gotten pretty far afield from where it started. Originally, it was just paint or assemble, uh, or convert models, and people expand it to whatever their hobby is. If you're having a problem, getting games in when this is all over, or however, make it include games because that way at least you're not getting penalized for it. It's what you make of it. You don't have to follow someone else's loosely defined rules of what a hobby streak or whatever should be. I mean, there's also a lot of groups out there for it. We all get on Twitter and we post our hobby streaks. There's a Facebook group for Hobby Streak. It's not terribly active unless your name is John. And
Or
but
Brian Emick, he was
yep,
posting in
Brian was
there
doing some
recently.
stuff too. But on Twitter, there's a bunch of us. Just look up hashtag Hobby Streak, and you'll find a ton of us just doing stuff day after day. Um, it just keeps us going. It's like I said, it's just some structure to keep us going. I know even Norma, who's tied with me for Hobby Streak, he had to go. He went on a cruise way, way earlier. I think late last year, and he had to do some stuff while he was on the cruise just to make sure it was worked. I've been on 2 trips out of town during my hobby streak. One was for John Con, and I brought specific model. Even though I was gaming, I wasn't counting gaming back then. Um, I was crazy, to be honest. And so I brought models and I assembled models while, out of town. You can do that. I sometimes bring some hobby books and make a point to read them. Something outside your norm. Like if you read the fluff all the time, don't count that necessarily. But maybe get a hobby book and read about the hobby. Get your how to paint models, get your airbrushing or painting book from Angel Geraldez or whoever you got, and take a read of that while you're out of town. Just get some immersed in some hobby there, or whatever you want to do.
I think watching other people uh, stream painting on Twitch is another thing that gets me inspired to, do my own thing.
Oh yeah.
But I have a friend who, he wasn't doing the hobby streak, but he was doing I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna prime one guy. I'm gonna get one guy assembled, and if I feel like doing another one, whatever. And 9 times out of 10, after he got started with his one guy, he would just keep going for a little while.
Yeah,
So
that happens a lot. You'll get started and just keep going.
So if you commit to do, even if it's just 15 minutes of, I'm just going to file mold lines or I'm just going to assemble this one guy, I mean, that still counts.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually you'll be like, the end of the month is here and you'll be like, oh my God, I have all my Marvel Crisis Protocol assembled, or I have my entire unit of Space Marines assembled and primed.
Yeah, it's what you make of it. I mean, like I said, that's a good goal seeking one. Just little people tend to forget. Like I only have a couple minutes to work on stuff. I won't worry about it. I won't get anything done. You do. Little progress is still progress. You'll be surprised how many times I sit down and paint for 30 plus minutes and it looks like almost nothing's been done, but you're still going. You're still getting progress. That's the hardest part is doing it. And Kathy mentioned watching someone else paint or hobby, it helps. Absolutely. That's sort of how this all started. People would just tune in to Painting with John, and we would all paint together. And then, you can find all sorts of people, us, Rainier, a whole ton of people. Kathy, if you're there on her weekday, paint with us, while you're there. There's someone there, not necessarily chatting with you as easy as if you were in person, but close. Or if you crave that direct interaction, get on Discord or Facebook. What do they call it? Get a Facebook room and get some people in there and chat. Get on Zoom. Get on whatever,
Oh yeah,
Skype,
the
whatever. Chat.
Facebook room thing. That's a new thing, right?
Yeah, it's a new thing. I saw that because they put it where my button normally is for posting pictures.
Huh.
So, just do what you can. I mean, you get some people to chat with. It makes it a lot easier to hobby together. It was always the way we did it back at our old game stores. We would just sit there and we'd all hobby together and we'd have a great time, and everyone would get stuff done.
That was the best part of the game store to me was going there and they had the paint bar and everybody would sit around. It was like Cheers. It was like Cheers for geeks. And we would walk in and everybody would be like, "Hi." And we'd sit down at the paint bar and I had my one spot like Norm and it was right next to the carousel of paints. And we would just talk about,
Whatever.
gaming, mechanics, strategy, or shows, yeah, and exchange ideas about conversions of models and color schemes, and how would I go about doing this on this. What do you think? I don't know, what do you think?
I don't know.
Just all those conversations about the hobby, it was amazing. And that's the thing I missed when that game store closed.
Yeah, but you can get some of that online now. It may not be, like I said, the same. To just hear someone talk about what they're doing is sometimes interesting enough. If there's a podcast you like, you can put it on while you're hobbying. Before I started hobby streaking, I was not getting a lot done, so I said, okay, these guys put out weekly. I'm listening to their podcast every week on Sunday or whatever, and I'm going to hobby for the entire time that it's on. So that's a good way of doing it. Just it doesn't have to be like a set of a schedule, but you want something semi-frequently to keep you going, especially in times like this where there is no schedule for a lot of people. The schedule exist.
And Russ says, I like to loosely cut models from sprues into baggies, so models are separated sometimes while I watch TV shows.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good time to do that. That's also a good time to just file mold lines down. Like, it's just this like mindless kind of thing, just filing mold lines, and sometimes doing assembly is something you can do while you're watching TV or listening to audiobooks or whatever.
Or basing models.
Honestly, you could be on a call for work and be filing mold lines. It's so mind-numbing.
Sometimes, absolutely. But yeah, I used to, when I watched football, I would watch football and do all the simple stuff, file mold lines, cut stuff off sprues. Commercial breaks would come up, and I would be there doing something intense, and then they'd come back, and I'd go back to light work. I remember some progress is still progress. Doesn't matter how little it is, you're still getting progress towards the end goal of assembling and or painting stuff. And I know it's super tough right now because most of us don't get games in with our stuff. But it'll pay dividends when this all ends, and it will end eventually, and then you'll be ready to go.
I'm looking forward to playing Warcry, because I had just got my guys done, and all of a sudden, there's nowhere to play. I was going to bring him to Adepticon, and nope.
And then 2020 struck.
Yeah, god damn it.
Damn it, 2020, you were supposed to be a good year. You were the chosen one. Now you're lying there next to the lava with only one limb, and it's robotic.
The chosen one never lives up to that potential.
I mean, he did in Kung Pao. Sorry, random. So do what you can, make it, whether it be get with some people by chat, or chat's not the best because you have to type and that makes it difficult to hobby at the same time, but some sort of voice chat, podcast, a TV show, even something, music videos, just some good music, podcasts, whatever you can do, Twitch stream. Just find what you want to have background while you're doing stuff and do
Well,
it. I mean, Gonzo generally paints and does a lot of stuff while he's watching TV, which is why he gets so much TV watch, unlike me.
Yeah.
I don't
I just
paint while I
listened
watch
to
TV. I do like work on some models though. So one thing I can't do and TV at the same time is paint. Clipping models
I like it
like the
base coat
sprues.
models like Champ.
I can do that.
Like
Excuse me.
that's a good note is if you can't paint, you can base coat while you're watching TV because you'd be surprised how much time when you're watching a lot of things there's just worthless, between scenes. It's not add anything to your enjoyment of it,
Oh, yeah.
especially if you've seen it a bunch of times. Like a movie you've seen a dozen times.
If you're just doing brush on primer, or like you say, base coats of, this part is going to be blue, so I'm doing blue. Or even, dry brushing.
I did the majority of this while watching YouTube videos. It's just simple. Drop it on the table. He's okay. He's the Hulk. He's tough. A simple green on him, just a green over a darker green, and then when it got to near the base or near the pants, I would wait, and then between videos, I would go and do that part there because it requires a little more attention to detail. So you sort of got to figure out what works for you. I mean, we can give you all the tips in the world. But you decide what's going to work for you. Maybe nothing's going to work. Maybe you just need to take a break off while things are crazy.
Yeah.
But I find it's the opposite. I find generally having the ability to escape into the hobby, something familiar, will help take your mind off, give you some semblance of normalcy. I mean, I assume.
Video games are so much easier.
It is.
They're so pretty with the flashing lights and all the sounds. All you have to do is press buttons with your hand.
Mine's not that easy.
Or hands.
I mean, yeah.
Saying.
I mean, yeah. If that works, that works. But I think just what you did prior to, quarantine and isolation and social distancing will help you keep some sense of normalcy. I drive basically 40 minutes round trip to go get lunch on Saturdays because it's what I would have done anyways, just without the staying there and talking to my buddies. It helps me keep some sense of normalcy. Plus, it's really good food. But that kind of thing helps you. It keeps me on my weekends. Because I'll be fair, aside from my once a month role playing game that was barely started by the time this happened. And Friday nights with Not Brushhead Dave. What? I really haven't changed that much. We don't get a lot of that. We don't get Transformers every other Wednesday. It hasn't changed a ton for me. And technically, we could do Transformers every other Wednesday, but it would be just me and Banion, and that would get a little boring. So, some people like Kathy, her schedule hasn't really changed much at all.
Not really, no.
So she's got normalcy, but I think if you're having some problems, with this whole thing, just try and do what you do normally might help. So Russ says, I can't hobby audiobooks because I want to listen to the words so I don't miss things. Everything a show or film has already seen before is my go-to. Yes, absolutely. It is hard to watch something new or you haven't seen much and concentrate on something else. There are movies you can put on in the background, and even I can hobby while I'm watching them. Gonzo, you should have your mask on now.
Oh no, it's okay. Still gray stuff.
But like you put on Flash Gordon, I can only look up for the. I mean, okay, the whole thing's the best scene, but I can technically only look up for the super exciting scenes, and the rest of it I know. I could practically quote it. And there's some movies where you know them so well, some you haven't seen enough to know that. I mean, there's some where I pick up the phone and I don't miss a beat. Just when you've seen a movie maybe too many times. And, you just have to know what it is. You have to sort of aim for what you're looking for. Sometimes I'll just go through and find something to watch and hoping for something. And sometimes I put on something familiar because I want to pay attention to it. I'll catch things I missed. And sometimes I just want something super familiar, super, I don't know, easy that I can put on and do some other things to. Depending on how you look at it, let's say something like Star Trek: The Motion Picture, that is either impossible to do something during, or 100% possible to do something during. Depends on how much you want to stare at the visuals. If they're ingrained into your brain, not worried about it. You just didn't want, to revisit the story and all. You don't need to pay attention too often to it. But if you want the visuals, then you need to get in there. It's weird. And I suggest light stuff. Don't get anything too heavy. Like people are like, I want to learn Dutch while I'm miniature painting. That's not going to happen. Don't.
No, I mean, I guess I could put a Dutch movie on, but if I'm miniature painting and I'm just listening to it, I don't know what the fuck's going on, because let's face it, I may be learning Dutch, but I don't know Dutch. I would need to be reading the subtitles. I could probably catch a word here or there. That's the thing about all these, the international shows that I like to watch, is they're all subtitled. You need to be looking at the screen. Otherwise, you won't know what's going on.
Absolutely.
And that's a little different than a lot of the other stuff, but I've really been interested in a lot of American TV entertainment these days. Banion thinks he's going to finish that last Gundam model at dinner this week or next. I think you should. There is no, I think, right? That's like try, right? I think there's do.
Well, it may take him longer than that to finish it. So
this model is resin. It was 3D printed by Gonzo.
But the parts he's cutting is actually just 2-part Needite putty.
Who's talking to him? Who's asking?
Danny.
Oh.
There's people in the chat.
What? I thought we do this like solo. I thought we soloed our podcasts. I thought people just come in here and just hang out just to watch me fuck up a model.
Well, I mean, I got nothing. Actually, I got.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, Danny, I 3D printed this. There is a model on Thingiverse. So you can get it, and if you have a resin 3D printer, you can print it off. And it comes in parts. And so I printed it, and I'm still learning how to do like supports, and the parts didn't come together quite like I thought they would, so I had to gap fill it. So it's not a big deal. I get to play around with a gap filler.
Yep. Well, that's good to get experience with.
Yeah. That's filling gaps is what taught me how to use green stuff so that I could sculpt with it and do conversions and stuff. So yeah, I think using a 2-part epoxy like this Needitite is a fantastic thing. People are always like, filling gaps, and I'm like, it's a learning opportunity here.
Yeah,
Learn how to use your materials.
I haven't.
The man song, right? That's what I said.
Vault.
Right back to it.
Thanks, Gonzo. I hadn't gotten it. I needed you to directly point at it again.
You mean that part? That part right there?
Sorry. So, spoiler, on computer, I can actually click to a different tab and not see that.
Gap filling is not fun or frustrating. It's fun and frustrating.
Yeah, generally it's going to be both. If it is only fun, then good on you. If it's only frustrating, sorry.
When I decided that I didn't want to use the horns that come with the Suzerain of Desire, that's the Creature Caster model that I've been working on, there's this big hole in the back of the guy's head, and there's this big hole in the back of the lady's head where these horns are supposed to, slide into this area and attach. A, they don't slide in that well. And B, I felt like those horns looked weird for how I was painting this model. And after spending 2 hours assembling, the myriad of pieces that make up these weird horns, I decided I wasn't going to use them and just fill in that area with green stuff and sculpt the hair over it. And it was both fun and frustrating. And I had to always be conscious of the fact that at any moment I could turn the model and accidentally stick my finger in the stuff that I had already sculpted. Because we've all done it. We've all done it. And it is frustrating.
Get that nice smooth portion. Perfect. Then you turn it around, you put your finger on it, you're like, son of a bitch, there's fingerprints in it now.
But in this particular instance, I managed to not get my fingerprint in the green stuff, but instead, I discovered that I had paint on my thumb and got that on the part of the model that I had already finished painting. And then I had to fix that. So, that particular frustration didn't have to do with the green stuff, but I did find that while I was green stuffing, and it was a bit disappointing.
Disappointing is putting it lightly. I would probably curse up a storm.
I made some loud sounds, and then I put the model down, and then I didn't touch it for a couple of days, and then I fixed it.
Yep, that's the way to do it. Let the anger fade.
Yes.
Don't go full Hulk on it, because then
don't try and power through the rage.
Yeah, I have to put models down.
That never ends well.
Yes, Dragonheart. Gonzo is a weirdo, so he's upside down.
Oh, hi, Dragonheart. I didn't see you sneak in there. Yes, that's Gonzo. He's whimsical that way.
I tried to write it back up, and then I got yelled at by the chat and my co-host.
He said, "You know what? Just leave it. It's fine. It's fine. No one will notice." Could be worse, Kathy. The last time Jason did gap filling, he slipped and ended up with a butthole on a model he had to refill. Oh my god. It was the first thing you noticed when you came in. Shh, don't tell him that. No one will notice.
By no one, you mean everyone, right?
Not saying anything?
Not saying anything.
Oh, Russ, I totally missed that. Most of the models with horns look better without them usually, he thinks. Yeah, it depends. Depends on what model, but some do, some don't, yeah.
I find a lot of times they have the wrong horns.
Oh,
they'll have a certain style of horns, and it'd be better with this other style of horns.
It would all be better with the horns of Legend.
Not every model.
The Tim Curry horns?
Darkness's horns will work pretty well for a lot of models.
But yeah.
Not to do with Magnus the Red.
Just repainted Calgar. Calgar, take me away. Every damn time I see that name, that's what I think. That goes through my head.
Oh, I need to drink a beer.
Kathy, that Jeff Wallach was going to try and name his son Marnius.
I did not realize that, no.
His wife shot that shit down.
Uh-huh.
Which is probably for the best.
My cousin gave her son the middle name of Locutus.
Oh, poor kid.
Yeah.
Well, middle names don't come up too often.
No.
Not until you're later, and people just aren't going to make fun of them as much.
I did know a guy that ran one of my game stores a while back. His first name was Luke. His middle name was Skywalker.
I mean, it happens.
He wasn't
Parents
happy
make
about
names
it.
without thinking.
He
About
wasn't
what they're
happy about it?
No,
Why the
no.
hell not? I mean, just because people teased him. I mean, people teased me about my name too, and it wasn't even cool. It was stupid.
Yeah, yeah.
Just saying, they're going to tease you about your name no matter what you're called.
I mean, it didn't matter what middle name was. They teased me for John.
Right? Doesn't
Right?
matter.
Doesn't matter at all.
And if it isn't your name, they'll find something else to tease you about.
Correct.
Because kids are just mean.
I
Also,
don't
I'm
realize they're
including
being mean.
myself
It's
in that.
funny to
We're
them,
all
and then
mean as kids.
Or kids are just grown-up babies, and babies do stuff because they get a reaction out of it. When they get a reaction, they do it. Anyways, we're off topic again.
Yes, we
What?
are.
Not us.
It's 3 minutes to our media section.
I'm going to
Do you
blame
want
Gonzo because he wasn't really participating in the topic at all.
No, it's
He
not
was
like
copying.
I was hobbying. Jeez, God.
Russ is asking out of interest, will the Guyver be painted like any of the anime or film colors, or will it be a custom scheme?
That's a good.
I don't know. That's a good question. I might just do it like the anime, that grayish blue, I think is what it is.
See, this is what
Problem is they're all
think
pretty
about
basic.
while you're doing the stuff you're doing here. That's what I think about when I'm filing mold lines and doing gap
Is,
filling. Is
is
the
this a
colors.
Power Ranger? No, it's not a Power Ranger.
Someone asked if the guy were a Power Ranger.
It's the Guyver.
Oh, that was loud.
Yeah, that was loud.
That
Holy
vehicle.
moly. Yeah.
Dang, really? Must
Oh, yeah.
Pick that up from pretty far away. It's just a
Which is funny because usually when somebody's mowing the lawn out my front yard, no one can hear it except for me.
No, I'll probably paint it like it's the standard paint scheme. If I ever get around to painting it.
This is what Power Rangers wish they could be. Yeah, I don't know either, Danny. I'm with you on that.
Someone post a link to the Guyver picture.
I saw the movie of the Guyver on cable TV a long, long time ago, but I don't remember anything about it.
It's kind of a blue-gray.
Yeah, it is kind of blue-gray. Depending on the picture you see of it. But yeah, generally blue-gray. But like I said, they're all pretty basic.
Yeah.
I mean, blue-gray, sort of that light tannish, or I remember like a dark blue-gray.
Is that what Guyver? What's Man-Giver?
However you spell it.
Oh.
It was a pretty good. They had a OVA series. It was pretty good. It was one of those ones in common circulations people saw a bunch of. That's how I got introduced to it, and then saw the live action movie. Unfortunately, afterwards. And then the second live action movie, which was not nearly as bad. It was actually half decent.
Yeah, I'll agree with you on that. First one wasn't. To me, the first one wasn't bad, but the second one was better.
Oh, Gonzo is a resident expert on bad movies. This is a bad movie.
I need to rewatch it. I haven't watched it in many, many years, so I'm going off of memory.
Does it go on the scale?
Oh, worse than Beastmaster? I don't know. It was worse than Beastmaster.
I mean, I liked Beastmaster.
You're allowed to. Gonzo likes Guyver.
Yeah.
I like
Being there
Beastmaster
just means
too.
you like them.
I like painting 40K. I'm going to paint 40K this week on my stream. Or is it? No, I think, yeah, it's 40K. It's got the backpack on it.
Yeah.
I'm going to paint this Nurgle dude. Well, I'm tiny in the corner. But I'm gonna paint this Nurgle dude. So every week, not every weekday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I paint starting at 3 p.m. Central, and I go for a couple of hours at least, usually. Uh, Sometimes I go over if I'm on a roll, or I have paint and I don't want it to dry.
That's right. Can't let the paint dry. Go, 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 go,
Just
go.
made you jealous. For why? Because I get to paint the Nurgly goodness. I mean, I can understand everybody likes an oozing pustule.
Was thinking that actually. It was exactly what was on my mind.
Oh, you need this model? That specific model? It is a fun model. That's why I
Nurgle ones
got
do have
it.
a lot of character. I always like that about them.
Yeah,
Yes.
they have a lot of
That
cool.
was my Blood Bowl team, was all Nurgle.
Rotters.
And I converted every single one of them because the old Games Workshop models for the Nurgle team sucked ass, really. So I needed to add lots to them. I still have those guys too. I should probably take pictures of them. I never
I think
did finish painting them though.
I don't think I got any of the Nurgle's Rotters. The only Nurgle guy I got for Blood Bowl was the one old star character, Biorot, whatever his last name was.
I don't think I've seen your Poxwalker. Do you have an Instagram? You can post a link. But only if his sores are in, anatomically appropriate places.
Uh, did we finish this conversation earlier?
Did we?
No, look, Guyver butt.
It's not just chafing.
Yes,
All
feel
right.
free to post a link to your miniature. Yeah, cool.
There you go. Well, Gonzo, I think it's time for you to push the button. 'Cause it's
You can
time.
push the button while I look at the Poxwalker.
Fall over,
His
Guyver.
green pustules.
And speaking of Marnie's Calcar, I think that's him in the background, isn't it?
Oh, wait. I want to see.
Is it?
Pictures.
I don't
Ooh, I like
even
pustules.
know what Marnius Calgar looks like aside from he has a tennis racket, right?
No, that's not Marnie. That's Robo. That's Robo Guile Man.
Robo Guile Man.
Robot girly man.
Robot Girly Man, exactly. Oh.
Calgar, take me away. Yeah, if you don't know what that is in reference to, you need to just Google it and watch the video. It's an old commercial.
It is an old commercial. All right, so Kathy watched something, I watched something, and Gonzo watched all the things. I'm more impressed I got time to watch everything with all the MechWarrior Online I was playing.
That is a cool model.
It is. Oh, and Girly Man. Let's take a look at Girly Man.
Give me one
Gonzo, you want
second.
to start off with something?
No, give me 1 second. I wanted to see something real quick.
Ooh, the girly man looks fantastic.
Yeah. All right. Kathy, do you want to start?
Sure. I'll start off. My one thing that I watched that wasn't other people painting on Twitch or D&D on Twitch was something I watched while Jim was streaming on Twitch, oddly. My husband. I watched The Deadly Mantis.
The Deadly Mantis.
Yes. That is a scary movie from 1957.
Oh, it looks scary. Oh, yeah.
Right?
The Deadly Man. Oh, wow.
And, yeah. So, it was cheesy. It was just one of those cheesy movies where it's a giant bug raining terror on the citizens of the U.S. Kind of like Godzilla was really cool. So we're going to make a whole bunch of movies where there's giant bugs, like tarantula, and the one with the giant bird thing, King Kong too, you know, all that. And this is, pretty terrible.
Yeah,
But
they
so,
don't say what the budget isn't.
uh, anyways, so I was stunned to see that William Hopper was one of the actors in it. And I only recognize him because Jim and I have watched a ton of Perry Mason on the TV channel that plays old TV shows. And that's like our thing we do before I go to bed. We watch Perry Mason. But the guy who played Paul Drake on Perry Mason was the guy who played the doctor in this movie, and I couldn't believe it because I think it's the first time he has ever not been typecast as a hard-boiled detective or cop. So it was just weird to see him in this, and it was right before Perry Mason first started, so he was younger looking. Hey, Asmo. This is a really weird looking painting stream. Oh yeah, we forgot to change the little tagline thing, whatever that is. So I'm not actually finishing my elf bust. I actually finished it on Friday.
Yeah, for some reason I need to get new. I was supposed to get it from Mizzy, get the new LEDs for around my computer monitor, because behind my computer monitor is a big window, and the big window, the sun's setting right behind it, so it's got like an orange kind of a glow, so I'm kind of looking kind of red. So I need to get those.
That's funny
need to get
though.
LED
Stop
lights.
hanging upside down because your face is red.
That's right.
So
that's the Deadly Mantis gets 3 stars, which is what I would have given Beastmaster.
Wow.
Really, yeah, it's not. It's on a cheesiness par with Beastmaster. For me, John would give Beastmaster 4, not stars. What would be space herpes? You're right. So that's the opposite of stars, actually. So the more space herpes you get, no one wants space herpes. They're impossible to get rid of. So more space herpes means worse movie.
Indeed.
For those that didn't realize.
Yeah. For the majority of ours, the higher is a worse rating.
Yep. I'll go with one of my first ones, and it was a movie that I was very interested in seeing. It had pretty poor reviews when it came out, and I was kind of ticked off about it. I was like, damn it, this could have been really, really cool. And it's listed as a horror movie, but it's a horror superhero movie. Or horror superhuman movie, I guess you want to call it, because it's not really a hero. And I was very interested to watch it, and it came on for free on, I think it's Stars. And I have Stars now because I need to watch the second season of American Gods. And so I watched Brightburn. For people who don't know, Brightburn is a movie about what if Superman wasn't a good guy, pretty much. What if an alien came down, humans took care of him, and the child learned that they had superpowers.
It would conquer planet Earth and kill everyone or enslave them?
And that's kind of where this show goes, and that's kind of what it hints at when you watch the trailers and stuff. And I'm like, I was kind of upset with it, so I watched it open mind. It is a horror show about a super villain, a person like Superman has superpowers. And I can't fault it for the fact that I can't blame this kid, or I can't blame the way the story is, because if you were a kid in today's society and you had superpowers like Superman, a lot of people would abuse that shit and, go, you can't stop me. I mean, if I want something, I'm going to take it. Um, it does get pretty dark, pretty gruesome, pretty quickly. The movie doesn't, lead you on this little trail. It actually, it starts off going pretty quickly with everything. It is a horror movie, so there is a lot of violence, a lot of scary stuff. There's not only jump scares, which is great because I hate jump scares. And so I was just disappointed. It wasn't a bad movie. It was just meh. It gets my 2.5 space herpes again. But I was looking up some stuff because there is a stinger at the end of it, and there is rumored that they may do a part 2 and do a League of Villains, because at the end of it they talk about a half human, half fish creature that is destroying like ships and all this other stuff, aka an evil Aquaman. And they talk about an evil woman that uses a lasso and rope to strangle and kill people, aka evil Wonder Woman. And so they're in talks to do like a evil league thing. And I was like, okay, that kind of could be cool, but
What about if the evil guys what are they? Not the Justice League, the other guys. All I can think is Doom. You know what I'm talking about.
The Legion of Doom.
The Legion of Doom. For some reason, the word Legion was not entering my brain. So the Legion of Doom were the superheroes.
I don't know that they're in talks. I doubt they'll ever do it because it didn't do really well in the box office and it didn't get really good ratings.
I guess not, because it seems like it's pretty predictable. I've never heard of it, and I already know how it's going to end.
It's what I call predictable and unnecessarily dark. Like, yes, we know what happened. We don't need to see this movie. It didn't really need to be made. It seems like a poor excuse to put a film out.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it had potential to do something good. It had potential to, whatever. But I mean, what do you do with
this? Because the subject matter is super cliched and been covered many, many times. Correct. So you really got to put something into it.
Well, I mean, what do you do? It begs the question: if you're kids in today's society and you have superpowers like Superman, are you going to be good or evil? And it kind of plays that role, but it wasn't done very well. So it was just, like I said, it gets my 2.5. So it's meh. It wasn't very long, so I mean it wasn't a long watch. So if you got a little bit of time, and you want to see it, just go and watch it. But it was just meh. 2.5 space herpes. John?
Well, before I talk about a movie, I'll talk about it later. Let's talk about some announcement that CBS All Access is going to do Strange New Worlds.
What? No.
The spin-off Star Trek series with Captain Pike and Spock and Number One in the Enterprise, which is going to be super awesome.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Yeah, I saw that and posted it immediately to the Facebook page.
Not a beard, because I'm so used to that actor having a beard while he's Spock. It made it work. It just looks a little weird.
Yeah.
Fresh face, because now it's not like, oh, Spock with a beard looks like this. Spock without a beard looks like one of these two guys.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it because everything's been done really well and really good, and more good sci-fi. Sign me up for it.
Yeah, and more good Star Trek, because it is the best part of Star Trek, and it seems like they're going to try and go back to the Roddenberry formula based on what the lead actor said, which is good.
Yeah.
Because we could use some of that. It's a good time to get some of that positivity and uplifting hope for the future.
Yeah, enough with the grim dark. Yeah. I think we're done with that right now.
Yeah.
And, we've two of us watched Discovery all the way through. And even the first season like it had points, like it started off going down that path and then it changed and went to the very much more standard Starfleet, this is what Starfleet does way, which I liked a lot. um, Captain Missy says she needs more Pike in her life. Absolutely. uh, Pike is leapfrogged into my second favorite Starfleet captain. Sorry, Kirk, he's second now. And if you don't know who first is, then you're not paying attention. So looking forward to that. Gonzo, go ahead and hit us with another one.
I did watch a new series on Netflix. It's a Netflix anime called Drifting Dragons. It's about a group of people that fly an airship around hunting dragons for food. It's a quick anime. I think it's like 10 to 13 episodes. I can't remember exactly. And it's a computer-generated type anime, but done very well. The computer animation is done pretty good, but it was actually pretty decent. Story was okay. It's got your stereotypical, okay, this one guy is super good at killing dragons. One guy is super good at this, so on and so forth. There's a girl, and it follows the same pattern of a lot of anime characters wise, but it was only about 25 or so minutes long each episode. It didn't stale or wasn't bland. It was funny at parts. It was cool. The dragons were neat. They weren't your typical dragons. Of course, they're anime stuff, so they're kind of always weird looking. But overall, it was a pretty decent little anime series. Like I said, it was very short, but it was good.
Episodes.
Do what?
12 episodes.
12 episodes. I can't remember. I knew it was short, but I didn't remember how short it was. But it was pretty decent.
Funny point, it's actually not a Netflix original. It actually was done in Japan, and then Netflix premiered it afterwards.
But I mean, it was good. Nothing like crazy over-sexualized or anything. But I mean, it was just a good, solid troop of characters, good story, learning the world. I thought the world was kind of neat and stuff. So, I mean, I'd give it like, 1 to 1.5 space surveys. If you're not into anime, it'll kind of lower it down for you. But I mean, it's a good, simple, easy binge. And you can have a good time with it.
Cool. Well, my actual movie I watched this week, and the only one, was I was actually going. Someone mentioned that the Man from U.N.C.L.E. movie was on Netflix for free, which is awesome. Like, great, I'm gonna watch it on Netflix. I go
the
search
1970s Man from U.N.C.L.E.?
Well, it's the
early 80s.
Well, it was 70s was a series, yes, but the movie's actually from the 2000s.
Oh, that's right. They did remake that. They did make that, yeah.
And unfortunately, the guy who mentioned that, I realize, is in the UK, so it's not for free.
Don't you hate that?
So after my disappointment of not being able to watch what I wanted to, because it's on my list, I just don't really want to pay money for it if I can help it.
Uh-huh.
I poked around and ended up watching Big Hero 6 again.
Oh.
If you guys don't know what Big Hero 6 is, then it is loosely, and I mean really, really loosely, based off a Marvel comic. Really, really loosely. Like, it took some names, and that's about it. Baymax is technically a robot in both. That is also true. And Hero is super smart in both, so that's true. And it's about a hero and how he's super smart, and he's already out of high school when he's a young teenager, and his brother sort of inspires him to do more with his life, and then he invents these cool little robots, nanobots, microbots, we call them, and then he demonstrates them at a science fair type of thing to get into the college. He gets in, and then there's a fire. His brother runs in to save the professor and ends up dying. And from there, he finds out that it looks like his nanobots, which they thought destroyed, were still around, and he has to go find them with the help of his brother's robot project, a big, fluffy healthcare assistant called Baymax. And from there, he meets others. He has other friends who are super smart, and he turns all what they're working on into superpowers, and eventually become a superhero team to fight the bad guy, who doesn't get a name because he doesn't need a name. He's not about that. He's about his goal. I could spoil more of it, but I don't need to. Everyone should probably watch it. Like, literally. If you have Disney Plus, it's on Disney Plus for free. Spoiler. It's good.
It's pretty good.
It's animated. It's awesome. The voice talents are top-notch. Great story. Like, the story is, like, a million times better than even the Marvel... Well, the Marvel comic was not a very good Marvel comic. Like I said, like, you do not get more loosely based off something than this. But it is super good. It is super child-friendly, but it doesn't really insult adults by watching it. It's never quite there. So never quite at that insulting thing. So it's super cool. I love it. It has a lot of great moments. I give it unshockingly 0 space herpes.
Yeah, it's a good solid. And the cameo at the end is pretty good too.
Well, yeah, I mean, you got to have a cameo. This is technically a Marvel property. You need the appropriate cameos at the end.
Yeah. I really liked it.
Yeah, it's super cool.
I'm going to go with one that I was really super happy with and super interested in, and watched the entire season in one day. I think it was only like 9 episodes, and it's an Amazon Prime show. Came out just this week, and it's called Upload. Upload is a story of you're going to die or you're dying, and you can upload your consciousness into a virtual world, and you can live forever in this virtual world. Okay. It's not the first time this has happened. It's done before.
Hashtag Cylons.
Yeah. And so this guy gets uploaded into it and has to navigate being a virtual avatar and such. Each episode is only about 30 minutes, but they actually feel a lot longer than 30 minutes. So that's something we commented about. And not in a bad way, in a good way. It feels longer than 30 minutes in a good way. The show starts off kind of lighthearted and silly. I will tell you, the bathroom scene had us rolling, and it's in the first episode, for at least quite a few minutes, laughing our ass off, because I was like, I would definitely try that shit. I would do that. I would do that in a heartbeat. You get to learn about the world and all this other stuff and all the characters, and you get to see and feel for stuff, how it happens, because there's people in there that are like the super rich. There's also a lot of the stuff that happens in there. You know, what happens if you can't afford the super rich luxury place, you know, and you get like 2 gigs of data each month that you can only use as this person. And so it kind of does this stuff, and it actually hits some spots in the show where it kind of goes with our society today. But I mean, it starts off really lighthearted and then gets kind of serious. It is kind of a rom-com in a way, but it's not heavy on that, because it turns into a silly, goofy TV show, then goes to a rom-com, to a murder mystery, to a drama, and then it's kind of serious at the end. If I remember correctly, it was written and done by the people that did Parks and Recreation and The Office. I can't remember the guy's name, whoever did it. But it is a solid, good series. You start off watching it and you're like, yeah, this is pretty funny. This is pretty cool. All right. Yeah. Okay. Neat. Yeah. Cool. Oh, fuck. Shit. But it's good, solid. Definitely Amazon's kind of stepping up their game with their series. Good Omens, when they did Good Omens and it stepped up and it was amazing. I was like, okay, I'll give this a shot. And it's pretty dang good. If anything, watch the first episode, because it's...
Even though that's Amazon Prime?
It is on Amazon Prime. Give it a shot. Watch it. Right now, I hope they get another season out of it because I'm intrigued. I want to know more. But right now, 0 space RPs for me on it. I really liked it a lot.
Cool.
It was interesting. It was different. It was different. It was something outside of the norm, which is always good.
Cool.
I have another one. If it's all my show now.
Nothing else. No,
Okay.
You're boring.
Well, last night I couldn't go to sleep, so I watched a couple of movies. I didn't get to finish one of them, and I'm really not happy with it. But I'll finish it just to hell. The last thing, we'll go with this one as my last one. I watched Zombieland 2, Double Tap. Everybody knows Zombieland 1 was kind of a, I wouldn't say sleeper hit, but it just kind of came out of nowhere and was pretty decent, pretty fun. A good, just silly zombie whatever movie. And then, if you don't trust Gonzo, trust Mizzy. And so they tried to capture the same thing they did in the first one and the second one, and it didn't go over as well. So it was like, yeah, you've done that. Yeah. Same old joke. Yeah. Same joke again. Yeah. Same stuff again. It was just okay. They could have, done something different or, whatever. But it was more of let's flash back to episode 1, and you're just like, or the first one, and it was like trying to capture from the first one, and it just didn't capture it right. Was it bad? No, there's worse stuff, like cats. Was it good? Not really. It kind of gets the Met rating again, the 2.5. It's better than a sharp stick in the eye. But you could probably find something better to do.
Better than a sharp stick in the eye. That's a low barrier of entry there.
But I mean, there's just some other stuff that you could watch or do whatever. I've got a slew of movies that I've got to watch anyway. But I've been wanting to watch it to see if they could capture lightning in a bottle again, because to me the first one was pretty dang funny and pretty cool. It was interesting and different. This was just the same thing with a different Sharpie.
So. Funny story, Gonzo. I own Zombieland. Never seen it.
It was different.
It was a $1 DVD. I cannot pass up a $1 DVD. I'm vaguely interested. I'm like, it's $1. I'll watch it sometime, and I will eventually. I'm not a big zombie guy, but I'm like, everyone said it was great. I like Woody Harrelson in just about everything he's in.
Yeah.
Give it a shot.
It's like the first one was a great movie. It was really fun, entertaining, good comedy. But 2 just fell short. It gets the meh rating because there's not much behind it. There's not much going on. It's just there. So, I don't know. They could have done better.
They also could have done worse.
Yeah, they can always do worse.
Sometimes they put out a sequel just to be like, let's just get that easy money.
Yeah, and I'm sure.
I'm just waiting for zombie cats.
I'm sure it's out there.
That's why they make shotguns.
But I do have one other one, but I'm not finished watching it, but I'm not happy with it at all. But I'll wait for next week because it's pretty much time.
Yeah.
And for the people that were wondering, my print did not come out, so I'm going to have to do the crap I have to figure out. I got to change out the FEP. I'm not happy about it.
Russ watched both seasons of, or rewatched both Amazon Prime Jack Ryan seasons. I need to see season 2, but instead of watching it this past week, I took a break from TV and did other stuff.
Yeah, I definitely need to see the rest of Jack Ryan. I did start season 2 of American Gods today, which I loved season 1. It was really good, really fun. Love the book. Of course, this deviates from the book, but I enjoyed it, and I'm hoping season 2 gives me the same flair. I don't like they did something different on season 2. They didn't do it on the first of this episode. Usually they do like...
Don't tell me, because I don't want
to... No, I won't spoil it. The beginning of every episode on season 1, they have like a prologue, I guess you want to say, or something to kind of... this is what's going to happen in the episode, but
True.
It kind of not... It's weird. But
it literally sounds like one of those old 70s shows intros where it shows clips from the upcoming episode.
Not really the upcoming episode. I can't say it without spoiling it, but they didn't do that on this one. So I'm only one episode in, so they could have just not done it on this first episode. So we'll have to wait and see.
We did it just to spite you.
Probably, fuckers. But I can't wait to see the rest of it because I really liked it. So
awesome.
So guys, that's it for episode 122. We thank you for joining us. I'm Gonzo.
Yeah. I'm John.
I'm Kathy.
Please take
so
care of
much
yourself.
for joining us. Have a good night.
Be nice to each other. Hang out, chill, do stuff. But not close to each other. Do I want to send you to somebody? Hold on, guys. We're going to send you to...
Zambies?
Yeah, listen to the Zambies. Zambies need some love. We're going to raid Zambies. Everybody jump in there and raid and say hi to Zambies.
Love and cookies.